Okay, so good afternoon. Happy Friday. Hi, Kathy. Yay, you popped on right in time. All right, so we are going to get started. And I have a sweet practice for you today. I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit of a story. So, does everybody have either a block or a bolster or a blanket? Okay, so I want you to start on your backs, and you have a few choices. If you don't have anything, then you can just lie on your back and bring your knees, bend your knees, bring your knees toward each other, and just lay in constructive rest. But if you have a block, you can place it under your sacrum in a supported bridge pose. Or if you want to take a bolster or roll a blanket and put it along your spine so that your heart is open. So find a restorative position that feels really good for you. One that's going to really let your heart just kind of rest open. Now I'm going to tell you a little story called The Roar of Awakening. The story is about a tiger, a mama tiger, who was very hungry. She had a hard time finding food, and she was pregnant, and she gave birth to a cub in the forest. And she was so exhausted and so hungry that she died, and the cub was all by itself. And so this tiger cub was wandering around the forest, and it was found by a herd of goats. And the goats decided to adopt this tiger cub. And he grew up with the goats, and so he learned to be a goat. He bleated, and he ate grass, and he did everything that goats do. And he felt very loved and taken care of. But one day, a big male tiger came and ran through the goat herd, and everybody scattered. But for some reason, this little tiger, who thought he was a goat, didn't feel scared, and so he stayed. And he began to talk to the big goat, or the big tiger. And the big tiger looked at him and said, "What are you doing? Why are you bleeding? Why are you eating grass?" And the little tiger said, "Because I'm a goat." And the big tiger said, "No, you're not a goat. You're a tiger." And the little tiger looked at him and said, "No, I'm a goat." So the big tiger led him over to a pond, a very still pond, and had the little tiger look in at his reflection. And he said to the little tiger, "Take a look at yourself. Really, really look at yourself." And as the little tiger stared at himself, he got a little confused. He looked up at the big tiger and back to his reflection, and he didn't know what to make of it. So the big tiger said to the little tiger, "Come with me." And he brought him back to his den. And at the tiger den, there was a little bit of meat left over. And so he told the little tiger to take a bite of the meat. And the little tiger was really upset. He said, "I don't eat meat. I'm a goat. I eat grass." And the big tiger convinced the little tiger to take a bite. The little tiger took a bite, and at first he choked and it felt very foreign. But as the meat actually made its way into his bloodstream, all of a sudden there was this little bit of familiarity. There was this little bit of shift. And all of a sudden his little mouth opened and he let out this little small roar. He bared his claws and he began to stretch his body the way a tiger does. And the very first time in his life, his little roar made him realize that he was maybe something that he didn't know he was. It wasn't a fearsome roar, but it was a roar that a tiger would give. This was his roar of awakening. In that moment, he recognized that he's not who he thought he was, that he was much more. So, where in your life have you had some kind of experience that awakened you to the fact, to the possibility that maybe you're not who you think you are? Maybe you're so much more. Maybe there's something inside of you that kind of taps you on the shoulder time and time again. Maybe there's something inside of you, inside of each one of us, that's waiting to be awakened. We see ourselves based upon what we've learned, what we've grown up with. There's a lot of comfort in that, and there's a lot of maybe even a sense of loyalty, in being what has brought us comfort and gotten us this far. And something about the story really made me think that, nothing in this life happens that's not supposed to happen. It wasn't a mistake that this tiger thought he was a goat, because he would have died by himself out there. He was taken in by these goats, and they loved him, and they helped him get to the point where he was ready to realize who he really was, where he was ready to enter into that space of the roar of awakening and begin to really step into who he was supposed to be. So something to think about as we move through our practice. So, wherever you are, take another long, long, deep breath. And if you have a prop underneath you, if you have a block, press into your feet, lift the block, lower your hips. If you're on a bolster or a blanket, just gently roll over to one side. Wherever you are, come on up to sit. And once you get there, let your palms float together, coming into Anjali Mudra. Hands at your heart, close your eyes. We're going to open with Om Namo, Gurudev Namo. If you're familiar with the chant, please join with your voice, and if not, with your ears. Beautiful chant that taps into the true nature of who we are, our inner guru, and connects us to the golden chain of gurus who came before us, all of the energy, the information, the universe. Take a deep breath in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Pause, let the energy settle. Feeling that sense of awakening, of curiosity moving through your cells. So all of that wisdom begins to flow through you, waking up. So many choices. And moving directly into our next chant, Ad Gare Name. We do it as a celestial communication chant, and we do have someone here who is not familiar, so I'll just go run through it real quick. It's Ad Gare Name, the heart center. Jugad Gare Name, third eye. Sat Gare Name, opening your heart up to the universe. And then Siri Gurudev Name, palms together overhead, back down to your own heart. 3 times together. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siri Gurudev Name. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siri Gurudev Name. Ad Gure Name Jugad Gure Name Sad Gure Name Siddhi Guru Deve Name. Pause, feel, notice. The energy of protection coursing through your body, through your mind. Protection from maybe outside things, but mostly from our perceptions, our fears, our worries, the things that make us put the brakes on when that awakening starts to stir inside of us. That, oh no, that fear, the unknown. Protecting ourselves against that. Take a deep breath in, and as you do, let that prayer float up overhead. Squeeze the pelvic floor, the navel center. Everything squeezing up, up, up. And then exhale, arms wide, fingers moving through the perfection of your own energy. The wonder of you, the gift of you. And as your fingers touch the earth, feel a sense of coming home. Allow yourself to accept the nurturing support all around you, beneath you, within you. As your courageous heart prepares to move into your next roar of awakening. As you open your eyes, bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, hands out to the sides. Inhale, bring those palms to your solar plexus. Exhale, bring your arms out. Now that's going to be the hand pattern. What we're going to do though is alternate nose and mouth. So we're going to start, hands on the heart, inhale through the nose, opening up, exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling onto the solar plexus through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, opening. Inhaling back to heart through the nose, exhaling mouth, opening up, and keep going. And after your mind wraps itself around that pattern, and you find yourself falling into a rhythm, you're going to begin to do cat-cow movements while you continue this pattern. Your heart will move forward as your arms open, and then you'll round as your hands come back. And just keep going. Really let yourself fall into the rhythm and the breath. So what made that little tiger a goat? His thoughts, his beliefs. Every day he woke up and he was surrounded by goats, and he was loved by goats, and he was nurtured by goats. And he did what goats did. Thoreau once said, as a single footstep will not make a path on the earth, so a single thought will not make a pathway in the mind. To make a deep physical path, we walk again and again. To make a deep mental path, we must think over and over the kind of thoughts we wish to dominate our lives. So the little tiger did that unconsciously. He thought thoughts that changed so much about his true nature. How often do we do that in our lives in a very conscious way? We convince ourselves there's things that we can't do. There's things about us that we were born with that can never change. The next time you open up, stay open, let your heart move forward, really stretch those arms back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, arms up to the sky. And then just begin to bring your arms forward. Let your body kind of move forward parallel to the ground and start to spin around, arms still in the air, really bringing your heart parallel to the ground as you come forward each time. Nice big spins, clearing that energy. I had a really hard time when I started doing yoga with chanting because my belief, my thought over and over and over again was that I had a really bad voice, that my voice was horrible. And it's not the best voice in the world. I know I'll never be a chant artist. I know I'll never be on stage. My children will still offer to pay me not to sing them happy birthday. But I was jipping myself, begin to move in the other direction. I was really jipping myself because what I did because of that belief was I didn't join in the chanting at first. And in fact, I had all these reasons why it was ridiculous. And now chanting is one of my favorite things. It moves through my core. It raises up so much amazing energy inside of me. So I had to stop and I had to change those thoughts. What thoughts are holding you back from doing something that you love? Hi, Natalia. I just saw you. And next time your arms come up overhead, stay there. Reach up. Reach, reach, reach. Bring your hands out to your side, out to the sides, palms up, close your eyes, and just pause here for a moment. Just pause and feel. I'm going to intersperse through the practice today a little bit of mudra and chant for the pineal, the pituitary, and the hypothalamus gland, which are in our brain, which help to nourish our field of expansion in our mind. So from here, you're going to keep your hands where they are, and you're going to touch your thumb and your pinky finger together. And you're going to begin to chant along to this beautiful chant, Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Pare.
Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare, Ariyan, Kariyan, Nirname, Akame. Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare, Ariyan, Kariyan, Nirname, Akame. Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare, Ariyan, Kariyan, Nirname, Akame.
Almost there, one more time.
Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare, Ariyan, Kariyan, Nirname, Akame.
Take a deep inhale. Keep the mudra where it is. Stretch your arms away from each other, moving toward the opposite walls. Just really stretch, stretch, stretch. Hold the breath. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold, hold, hold. And as you exhale, bend your elbows. Keep the mudra. Palms facing forward. And just begin to twist left and right, just to disperse that energy. Just twisting left and then right. Beautiful.
Gobinde, Mukande.
And then come to center. Inhale your arms up to the sky, down to your heart center in prayer. From here, you're going to move into child's pose. So make your way to all fours and then let yourself sit back on your heels. Your knees go nice and wide and then melt forward. And once you get there, you're going to really stretch those arms out in front of you. Feel so much extension. Maybe lift the armpits a little bit. Make space. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And on the next inhale, fill your entire back body with breath. Imagine the breath, the pranic energy filling the back body. And exhaling. And slowly begin to walk your hands and your upper body over to the right. Once you get there, you're really going to stretch that left hand forward. And the right hand is going to energetically begin to pull back. So you're making so much space. Really moving that left hand forward, almost pulling back on that right hand. Really elongating the left side of your body. Finding some freedom in the physical body to allow us to find some freedom in our minds. Take a breath here, and then another. And slowly begin to walk back to center. Move to the other side, finding that space and that opening on the left. Reaching that right arm forward, pulling that left hand back, opening up. So thinking about that little tiger, in order to step into being a tiger, things had to change. You had to let go of some of that being a goat. But I like to think that maybe there were things he held on to. Maybe he was able to process all of that through his heart and become something different than a tiger or a goat, whatever he was meant to be. Come back to center. From here, take your right arm and slide it under your left armpit. Let your shoulder, your cheek come down to the mat. Really come up on those fingertips. Beautiful, Marge. Take a breath here. You look good, Jen. Long, deep breathing. And then slowly come out of the twist. Stretching both arms forward and then moving to the other side. Left arm. Yeah, there you go. Under the right armpit. Up onto those right fingertips. Looking under right arm. And then slowly back to center. Taking one more nice long stretch. And then before you come up, what you're going to do is you're going to start to walk your hands back, but keep your head down and let your head and your neck be the very last thing that comes up. Just walk your arms back. Nice, slow awakening. And then with your hands on your knees, start to cat-cow here, spinal flex. And come to stillness. Walk your hands forward, this time coming into tabletop. And we're going to do a little bit of roaring of our own. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you can either stick your tongue out all the way or just roar. Do that a few times. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, roar. And just keep going. A little cat-cow here as you inhale and then roar. Really finding your voice. And then finding your stillness. Taking your right hand straight out in front of you. Left leg up and off the mat. A little bit of balance here. And then just begin to move that left leg up and down, letting the toes touch the floor and come back. Just a few times. And the next time it comes up, let it stay up. And then gently bring the knee back to the mat. Bring your right hand down. Left hand moves forward. Right leg back behind you. Beginning the journey, tapping the toes on the mat and back up. Next time it comes up, stay, pause, lower the knee, lower your palm. A few deep hip circles here. Maybe even moving the hands forward a little bit so you can open that heart. Move in the other direction if you haven't already. And then come back to tabletop. Make your way into Sukhasana. Sitting comfortably. You're going to take your thumb, let it touch your ring finger, and bring your hands down, palms up onto your knees. Close your eyes. You're going to chant along with the Mo mantra. Give me a moment and I will get some music going for you.
Ikongar satena karta purk nirbo nirver akal murat hajuni sabangur
Body
parsad
feels
jap
moved to sway or dance in any way. Feel free for now.
ahad sach
Let your eyes begin to roll back toward the third eye.
Happy such Nanak hosi bhi sach Ekongar satena karta purk nirbo nirver akal murat hajuni sabangur parsad jap ahad sach jugad sach happy sach nanak hosi bhi sach ekongar satena karta purk nirbo nirver akal murat hajuni sabangur parsad jap ahad sach jugad sach
Come to stillness. Keeping your hands where they are. Inhale deeply. Squeeze everything up. Letting your eyes really roll up toward that third eye. Letting your heart move up. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale. Keeping the mudra. Again, bend your elbows, bring your palms forward, and start to twist from side to side. As we move through our practice, keep twisting. We have 2 more parts of this meditation. And it brings with it 3 mantras that are known as the Trinity, Kriyas for the Trinity of your soul. It gives you the balance, the 3 glands that flow the energy of the mind that create the reality that we see. We develop a relationship with these glands, with these organs, with our physical bodies, and they help us navigate our way through this crazy human experience in a way that we can experience it as our full awakened selves. Many roars of awakening in every lifetime. Come to stillness. Let your hands float down to your knees. Pause and feel, eyes closed. A moment of silence to really move into the energy. And then letting your palms face down on your knees, we're going to begin some backwards shoulder circles. So you're going to bring your shoulders up towards your ears and then let them fall back and forward. And just keep circling with your hands on your knees. Nice and slow. So if you're ever feeling really stressed or anxious, this is a beautiful movement to bring you back into grounding and also to open up your lungs, to relax your heart, to take you out of that sense of angst, of closing. Notice how, as you slowly and gently move here, gravity works with you, right? Feel the sense of grounding down. So many tools, so many simple tools at our disposal. We get scared and we move out of our bodies, we move out of our minds, we move out of our breath. So little ways to move back in, to come home to that heart center, to that place of safety. It's when we have a safe foundation, when we can really connect with every part of our being. And there is nothing that we can't do. There's no way that you can't tap into your intuition. The next time that your shoulders come down, relax here. Inhale, exhale. And then once again, into tabletop, rolling forward. This time curling your toes, raising your hips up to the sky, coming into downward facing dog. Pedal your knees nice and deeply, really bring your knees down toward the mat and then back up, one and then the other. And then bending your knees a lot, walk your feet towards your hands. Come into a very soft Uttanasana, forward fold. Let yourself be so soft. Maybe grab opposite elbows if that feels good, or let your hands rest on your shins. And find some mobility here. Let yourself move in any way that feels good, a nice little twist or sway. And as you come back to center, release your hands down if you're holding opposite elbows. Put a nice bend in your knees as you inhale your arms wide around, all the way up overhead, bringing yourself up to stand. Palms together to the heart center. A nice heart-aware mountain pose. Thanks, March. Breathing from your crown all the way through to the soles of your feet. Really feel your roots of your feet growing. And feel that nurturing energy of Mother Earth rising up, reminding you of who you really are. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale your arms out wide as you dive down toward the floor. Bring your palms together and then bring the prayer up through the midline as you rise back up. Bring your hands to the midline of your body, reaching up all the way up overhead and diving down again, and keep flowing that way. The next time you come up, stay up for a moment. And then bring your arms out to a T. Just begin to bring your right arm all the way back behind you, left in front of you, a twist, back to center, and other direction, and just keep moving that way. Close your eyes. Move your legs a little further apart if that would feel good. Go at whatever pace calls to you. Let your breath move with you. Letting everything become a rhythm. Let yourself be so used to finding new rhythms, finding new patterns, giving yourself the opportunity to move out of the old and into the new, and taking with you whatever it is that still feels valuable. We don't have to let go of everything when we begin to feel a roar of awakening. The winds of change start to move in. We don't have to give everything up. We just have to be open to allowing what needs to shift. And as you come back to center, bring your thumb and your middle finger to meet. The other fingers are going to just extend straight out. Bend your elbows, palms forward. Close your eyes. Chant along again to our first chant. Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apade, Hariyang, Kariyang, Yaname, Akame.
Govinda Mukande Udare Apare Ariyan Kariyan Nirname Akame Govinda Mukande Udare Apare Ariyan Kariyan Nirname Akame Govinda Mukande Udare Apare Ariyan Kariyan Nirname
Keeping your hands where they are. Take a deep inhale. Squeeze everything up, 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 up. Exhale. And just bring your arms up to the sky and just begin to stretch your body up and down. As if you were maybe reaching for apples in a tree really high up. Just stretching it all out, moving that energy. And coming back to center, arms back out to a T. And do a little bit of a balance here. So you're going to, with your arms out to a T, lift your right knee up. And then wrap that right knee over the left, bringing the right toes to the floor. So your toes are going to touch the floor. And then just give yourself a big hug. An eagle pose variation. Just hug, 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 hug. Breathe. Inhale, and as you exhale, arms come out to a T, legs unwrap, moving to the other side, inhaling, the left knee up, wrapping around the right, letting those toes touch the floor, finding your balance, giving yourself a hug with the opposite arm on top. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Who more than you deserves your love and devotion and attention? Inhale. Exhale, open, unwind. Hands down to your sides, palms forward. Close your eyes. Feel. And then opening your eyes. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, prayer through your heart all the way down to the floor. Plant your hands. Step one foot back and then the other, downward facing dog. And then let your knees come down to the mat. Slide your body forward so you come onto your belly. Make a pillow with your hands resting your forehead. Sorry, Marge. Thank you. And if you want, you can turn your heels toward each other, toes moving away from each other into crocodile pose, or you can just let your feet splay out. Rest here. And then bringing your legs together. You're going to move into Sphinx pose. So your head, your shoulders, your chest are going to come up. Your forearms are going to rest on the mat parallel to each other, fingers forward. And from here, you're just going to gently lift your left heel up into the air, bringing that left leg up, and then lowering it back down, bending the knee. Yep, perfect. And do that a few more times, nice and slow, bringing that left heel up towards your butt and back down. Just keep going. And then let your foot rest on the mat. And this time you're going to lift your leg up now without bending your knee. Just lift the leg straight up, left leg as high as you can, and let it float down. One more time, up and down. Moving to the right foot, heel moving toward the butt as you bend your knee, float it up and down, and just keep going. And letting the toes rest on the floor. Begin to raise that right leg up off the mat, keeping the knee straight. Yep. And down. And up. And down. Moving back to the left foot, bend your knee. And if you want this time, you can take your left hand and reach back for your left ankle or stay right where you are. Into a nice stretch, shoulder opener, heart opener. And release. Moving to the other side, bending the right knee, reaching your right hand back, paralleling your left arm to the front of the mat for support. Inhale and exhale. Release. Lower your forehead back to the mat, making that pillow once again. So where is there a roar of awakening stirring inside of you? Is there a creativity that wants to be recognized? Is there a life change that wants to be made? Is it your turn to shine? One of my favorite quotes by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We're born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not in just some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So powerful. Roar loudly, or maybe softly at first, and then louder and louder. Another breath. And slowly make your way up to all fours and then into easy sitting pose. Once you get there, you're going to take your right hand, place it right in the center of your heart, left hand over it. Close your eyes, and we're going to chant along to our last chant. This time, it's Gobinde Mukande, but it's preceded each syllable by 4 hars. So it's going to be had, 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 Gobinde, had, 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 Mukande, etc. And had is the creative force of God that rests inside of us. So calling upon your creativity. And here we go. Let's see, maybe. Take in the silence. Feel the vibration. Marinate in the energy. Focus your attention on the palms of your hands. Feel the energy vibrating there. Move the palms of your hands up to the crown of your head, feeling a sense of lightness and clearing. And then move those vibrating palms right to the center of the forehead, allowing that sense of clarity to move through your third eye. And then down to your throat center, that sense of purity, Vishuddha, pure communication. And then down to your heart, allowing the vibration to release the floodgates on your compassion and self-love. Moving those hands down to your solar plexus. As that vibration wakes up that truth of who you are, that powerful, powerful sense, creative energy. And then down right below your belly to your second chakra. Freeing your emotions, letting them rise. And then place one hand on each thigh. And feel yourself connecting to the grounding energy of the mother. Any barriers to fully dissolving into the arms of the earth fade away as your own palms vibrate this energy. And when you're ready, you can slowly make your way to your back for a couple of final twists and stretches and a short Shavasana. Once you find yourself on your back, if that's where you're going, then ask your body what it needs. Maybe take a bridge pose or squeeze your knees in and take a spinal twist. Or stretch your heels toward one wall, your palms reaching toward another, whatever your body is calling you to do. If you're seated, if you want to take any twists or stretches, or just bask in the energy. Eventually settling into the stillness. And as you settle in, just like that little tiger, really looking at himself in that still pond, gaze into your own heart. Take in your immense beauty. Fall in love with yourself. Beneath the seething sea of feelings, sense impressions, thoughts, and interactions, the ground of being rests. Like bedrock on the ocean floor, it forms a container for the psyche. It's the source of the something more we're always looking for. It's here, not somewhere different. It's now, not tomorrow or next year. Sinking into its support, we find ourselves uplifted. The ground of being isn't a goal we need to seek. In truth, it's what we are. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing movement to your fingers and your toes. Taking a nice stretch. And then bringing the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet to meet, rubbing and creating that amazing fire. And then from wherever you are, either rolling on your spine or over to your side, we'll meet, palms together, heart center, eyes closed. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Everybody coming up to a seat, we will close together with a long Satnam. Inhale deeply. Sat Nam. Sliding your thumbs to the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own amazing radiance. Be love, believe, be true to you. Sat Nam.